Good morning and welcome to Kramer's Corner. It is Thursday the 23rd of November. We had S&P 500 closing above a minor resistance at 45.50, and there is not really anything stopping it until we are reaching the previous peak here at 4,607. So I think we'll get there, but we are also ripe for a correction. We should see a correction. The RSI is a little bit stressed here. The Nasdaq 100 also minor divergence here on the RSI, a little bit stretched. We reached the 161.8 projection of the latest minor correction down here, or the sell-off down here, so we should also see a correction. Market is closed today in US, by the way, so we won't know much until Friday, which is also a half day on the US market. So so we probably won't know anything until Monday, where we will probably see a bit of a correction on the US market, which we usually see after the Thanksgiving week and weekend. In Europe, we have the EUROSTOXX 50 that is above the resistance at 43.40, moving higher towards the strong resistance area here around 4,400. S&P 500, RSI is still in bullish mode. There's no divergence, so we should move higher, but it is a little bit stressed to be honest. We have DAX testing 16,000, almost touched it yesterday, 15,998 and a change. So also a correction likely here over the next couple of days going into next week. I think we need that after this very strong upwards move. Amsterdam still in this range here, 750, 763, key resistance at 763. If it's broken, then higher levels, but potential correction could also spill over to AEX. The Belgian market fairly looking good today with 35.75 as a resistance, but there could be further upside. Today is the first day that RSI seems to be closing above 60, but let's see where we are at the end of the day. But it is certainly indicating just that. We have CAC 40. 7,330 is the resistance there. I'm not quite sure we'll get there first take, maybe because, I mean, it seems like every time we're jumping a little bit and then nothing happens in today. We are a little bit stressed, but there's still room up to that level and potentially also higher to reverse the uptrend. And I think it's fair to say we can remove this one. To reverse the uptrend, we need to close it below 7,168, this low of this candle there. Finally, on the Swiss market. On the Swiss markets, a little bit sideways today, but we are in a bullish sentiment, so we should move higher towards the 100 moving average and 10,960-ish level right here. Euro dollar got rejected at the 61.8 retracement and at 109.60, and this resistance level here we are closed twice below, 2 days in a row below 109.45. So this area here, this 109.60, is really a key resistance. If it does break above, if we see that move, then we are looking at 111. Otherwise, then we are in for a bit of correction down to around 108, where we have the 100 and the 200 moving averages coming up, both rising, so they will add some support. The 55 down here, so it's not giving much support at the moment, but we should see a correction. However, keep in mind that we could see a move higher if it breaks above 109.60. Cable testing once again 125.46 this morning. There's divergence on the RSI, so we are a little bit ripe for a little bit of setback. But if we does close above this resistance around here, well, then there's room up to 127, 127.46, where we have some resistance, and the 61.8. I think we will get there eventually, but it probably won't be without a struggle. Dollar yen. bounced yesterday back above the 149.05 resistance, testing a little bit here, but I think we will see a move higher towards the 152 once again. We had the RSI that actually did bounce off 40, so we are still in a bullish sentiment. It needs to break below 40, so that was a strong bounce really. So we could see a dollar yen trying to move back to 152 level, but let's see. It probably won't be with our struggle either on dollar yen there. Euro yen also the correction a little bit smaller than expected. It could have dipped down to the support here around 160 and the 61.8 retracement level, but it seems like it's picking up again, and we should see a test of the 164.30. If it does slide back here the next couple of days, then this rising trend line and the 61.8 could be tested. Aussie yen bouncing off the steep, very short-term rising trend line here. A retest of 98.55 is in the cards, and the break above, well, then there's room up to around 100, potentially higher. Aussie dollar it does look like it will have another go at this resistance and the 200 moving average. We have the resistance here just around 66. If it does break above, well, then there is room up to 69 with not much resistance in this area here. Of course, it won't be without a struggle, but we are in a bullish sentiment, and that should pave the way higher. We'll have a quick look at the EURSEK this morning, and let's have a look at the medium-term charts, because some interesting development has done on the Swedish krona. Heavy sell-off here last week, follow through this week, testing the 1140 support area, dip below, but it's at the moment we are still above, and we still have the RSI above 40. So I will write an update on the Norwegian and the Swedish krona later today to talk about what can actually potentially happen here. Is it a trend change? I mean, we have a confirmed downtrend, but it is not underlined by the RSI below 40, so that's really something we should look out for. Finally, when we're talking about currencies, let's talk about the dollar index, and let's move back to the daily here. Bounced off the 103 support level, caught between the 200 and the 100 moving average, so a little bit sideways. We could be caught here between 104.39 and 103 for the next few days going into next week. I need a breakout direction for the dollar index to see where it's going. Gold is having a hard time getting above the peak here, just below 2010 from October. It needs to break about. If it does, well, then there's room up to around 270 level, 277 level with the previous peak. And the RSI actually does suggest that we will get up there. We are in a bullish sentiment, and there's no divergence, so we should move up there. Silver still struggling at the 23.78 and the upper falling trend line that needs to be broken for higher levels. Also copper that got hammered a little bit yesterday after being rejected at 382.20, and the upper falling trend line, this level is the one to look out for. The RSI does suggest that we will get up and have another go, and also potentially breaking above. On the crude oil market yesterday, extremely volatile, but we ended almost nowhere. I think we'll be caught between 79 and 77 on the WTI and down to around 72.5 level here for the next week or so, but apparently not without much volatility. Brent just below 84. I want to break above 84 and a break below 77 before I call a direction. If it does break barriers out, then we're looking at 72, and then we are basically back in this consolidation area here. I just want to have a very quick look at the Dutch gas market that is trading around 44 80 support area and the 55 moving average. Actually did close below the other day, but the RSI is still bullish, so it's going to be interesting. Also Henry Hub testing the 283 support and the RSI testing 40, so that's really at a crucial point at the moment. Finally, just quickly on the US 10-year, not really much going on. Did test the 436 support yesterday. It's still holding on. We have the 100 moving average. We could see a move back above 450. And again, as mentioned previously, it is the US future. It is still in a bearish sentiment. And we're still below the cloud. We're still below 100 moving average there, and RSI is still below 60. So that's a knife's edge. All right, that's all for today. Remember, US is closed today due to Thanksgiving. Tomorrow it's a half trading day. Have a nice day and happy trading.